Ndindi Nyoro calls for national introspection on finance bills and tax policy. Welcome to my YouTube channel. If you are new here, kindly consider subscribing. Don't forget to like, comment and share our videos. Kiharu Member of Parliament Ndindi Nyoro has called for a national conversation on the effectiveness of finance bills and taxation measures, arguing that successful revenue-raising policies have not delivered the expected outcomes, despite being presented annually as tools for improving government revenue collection. Speaking in the National Assembly on Tuesday, June 16, 2026, Nyoro criticized the handling of the Finance Bill 2026, saying lawmakers were not given sufficient time to review the document before debate commenced, and I quote, "I want to start my first bemoaning the fact that the Finance Bill, as it is, was actually published on the order paper slightly before the session, and clearly this was an ambush to members of parliament," he said, "but I want to thank the members for turning up to defeat the treachery that had been planned." Nyoro urged Parliament and the country to examine the impact of previous finance bills using available revenue data rather than relying on the projections and policy promises. And I quote, "As a country, we need to undertake introspection. We have always had finance bills every single year, and what are we told each time? That it is about tax administration and raising more revenue. Let us use data," he said. Referring to the Finance Bill 2024, which generated significant public debate and protests, Nyoro questioned whether the measures introduced has resulted in a noticeable increase in government revenue. And I quote, "The most heated finance bill was in 2024, and the leaders of this house are on record as saying that even when Kenyans rejected it, they still went ahead and they implemented it. But the question is this: what did the country achieve? I have looked at the revenue graph of this country for the last 20 years, and there's nowhere you see a pump that can be attributed to the revenue-raising measures contained in the finance bill." Treasury Cabinet Secretary John Mbadi, however, defended the Finance Bill 2026, dismissing anticipated protests as politically motivated and not based on the contents of the bill. Speaking on a podcast on June 10, 2026, Mbadi said he conducted 17 public participation forums across the country before drafting the proposals and maintained that measures, including the proposed 5% tax on profits from the mitumba trade, were developed through stakeholder consultations. He argued that the bill aimed to improve Kenya's tax to GDP ratio and strengthen revenue collection, while rejecting claims that it is punitive or ignores public concerns. The MP also raised concerns about the government commitments that have not been reflected in legislative proposals, specifically referring remarks on exempting low-income earners from pay-as-you-earn pay. And I quote, "And Kenyans are dismayed. We have seen different pronouncements from the same government addressing the same issue. We have seen the head of state talking about the exemption of pay for Kenyans earning below 30,000 Kenyan shillings. That has not been captured here." And I quote, "These kinds of roadside declarations are what we need to bring on an end." End of quote. Nyoro argued that lower-income workers require relief, rising living costs, and increased household expenses. And I quote, "Kenyans earning below 30,000 Kenyan shillings deserve a reprieve, especially when their pockets are being raided from every direction." End of quote. His remarks came during ongoing parliamentary consideration of the Finance Bill 2026, which contains a range of tax and revenue measures proposed by the National Treasury for the upcoming financial year. Until the next video, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share our videos. Until another video, bye for now.